I'm Michele Adair and I'm the CEO at the Housing Trust. We're an organisation based here in Wollongong and work right across the Illawarra, providing affordable rental homes for people that have just been completely priced out of the housing market. So we build and construct and acquire and then manage the tenancies. My passion really comes from a number of really close experiences, personally in my own life, meant that my family was suddenly right, at the brink of homelessness ourselves. The first time it happened, I had just celebrated my 9th birthday and I came home from school as a 9-year-old to be told that my dad had died overnight of pancreatic cancer. He was only 46 and it was 1971. And in those days, our family, like every other family, pretty much was solely reliant on my dad's wage. And it was just a complete fluke, really, that he happened to be a man who, most unusually at the time, was thoughtful enough to have life insurance. And it was only because of that that Mum was able to buy the home, pay it off, and keep that for us and to be able to keep the roof over our heads. And then to be able to return to work herself. Fast forward a number of years, been married for nearly 10 years. 2 little kids, 2 and 4. I was actually very unwell and still on medication. I said, look, let's have a chat. Things have been a bit tense, a bit awkward. And he said, there's nothing to talk about. I've decided to leave you and I'm going to go tomorrow. And I was just completely shell-shocked. I could not have imagined or seen that coming at all. We were living in regional New South Wales. I needed to move back to Sydney to work and family and support. There was no way in the world that I could afford the mortgage. So I put it up for sale and we had been self-employed. Unfortunately, he hadn't filed the documents to transfer the business from our joint names to his sole name. And when he declared bankruptcy, between settlement and sale on the house, the public trustee came after everything. I had nothing financially, I had no savings left, I had nothing, to the extent that even my lawyer, who was looking after me, sent me his final invoice with a line through it, and he said, just don't worry, because he knew there was no way in the world that anything was going to be repaid. Initially, nobody, no real estate agents wanted to talk to me. There was no way in the world your average real estate agent was going to rent a house to a single parent. Life was coming together again. I had a great job, that was great. But then for me, brush number 3 was just around the corner when the company I was working for suddenly went into receivership and I lost my job. The consequence of that straight away was needing to go to Centrelink and apply for the single parent pension. It remains one of the most confronting, humiliating, frightening experiences of my life. I was taking out, credit cards, completely believing in myself and the background that I had and the education that I had and the expectations that I would be able to get a job again. It took longer and I was still, as a single parent, I was still trying to be a mum as well. Like all mums, parents, dads too, of course, putting my kids' needs ahead of my own. Eventually, things turned around and I did get another job and was able to pay back the debts and was able to move on. And as it turned out, I had just really, luckily, I had the most wonderful landlord. I stayed in that house for 5 years and he didn't put the rent up once. It profoundly has impacted the way I see the relationship that we have as, if you like, the landlord for the tenants.